Black and White Sessions. Today is an exciting day. We are thrilled, just thrilled today to have Stevvi Alexander.
Woo!
Hi.
Hi, Keri. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you're here.
So glad to be here.
It really has been a dream. I feel like with this project, so many of the people that have come in are longtime friends of mine, or people that I feel like I'm just the lucky one to have met them along the way and been able to work with them. But on the flip side, doing this project, I've been able to meet people that I've dreamed of meeting and working with, and you're one of those people.
I'm in that category.
You're in the category.
I'll take
so
it.
We're friends. We're now
friends now. No more dreaming. It's reality.
But we have a lot of beautiful mutual friends.
We do.
Who, you know, they've all said to me, I hope you're having Stevvi.
Shout out to Carlos.
Yes. Hey, Carlos. But they've all said, when is she coming? When's Stevvi coming? And I'm like, she will, she will. I said, somebody give me her phone number and we'll make it happen. So, look at that.
There are a lot of sweet singers in the world.
Yes. Yes, there are. And a lovely community of people.
A beautiful network and a beautiful community of people.
Yes. And, you know, sometimes you hear kind of, you know, some negativity about, you know, competition and things like that, and we're not immune to that in the community.
No.
But there are really, you know, it's encouraging, I think, especially for younger singers coming up, to hear that even in the midst of some of that, and we all deal with it, that there really are beautiful friendships and relationships that can come out of
200%.
You know,
Absolutely.
being in the musical community family.
Sure.
You know, whatever that part is that you play in that, or any of that.
Absolutely.
Sort of thing.
I don't like to deal in the competition currency.
Yeah.
But it does exist.
Yes,
there are
does.
dealers. Yes.
Well, let's talk a little bit about, we're just going to dive right in. I would love to know, gosh, I feel like we were chatting a little bit about how you really have a community within New York and Nashville and LA, and how did that kind of happen for you to kind of be able to diversify that way and work in all these cities?
Strangely, I got really lucky. It was just coincidence.
Okay.
But I was born and raised in LA, came up in the singing community here in church, and then started in this business in LA. So I got established, and then I got burned out. A couple competitive things happened, and I just crashed and burned. And so I left LA to go to New York under the auspice of getting a master's degree because I was leaving the business. And I don't think a lot of people actually know that. I was just sort of like, I'm out of here. So I left, went to New York, got my master's degree, but started singing, of course, in New York. And so I was lucky enough to get to know all of these beautiful New York singers, and I have this wonderful, deep network of great talent out there. And working with the Roots on Jimmy Fallon, and I guess now with Seth Meyers as well. And so now I'm able to call all those people that I was meeting and getting to know and singing with on sessions. And then I recorded my Christian album in Nashville.
Wow. Oh,
so
awesome. Okay.
That's how I was getting sort of, I have so many singers and friends live in Nashville anyway.
Yeah.
But when I did my album there, it deepened my understanding of the community and the network and the local talent. So
Yeah.
I've got quite a few wonderful pools to work with.
Well, and it's really, I mean, you know, it's fantastic for you because, you know, it is a little bit of a different vibe in each city and community, and
it really is.
And it
really is. LA
Yeah.
is so different from New York, from Nashville.
Yeah.
And I have to say, LA actually is, to me, the nicest group of people.
Well, she said it, but hey.
I know, it's kind of surprising.
I'm from Tennessee, and I'll take it as like, all right, it's okay.
LA's more open than the other two cities, and it's
Yes.
probably because there are more opportunities. So
I think so.
People
It's
are a little
smaller,
less territorial.
You know, at least I can only speak from the Nashville community, and I'm sure they would agree with me. You know, it's a smaller little group of people there to spread the work around to.
Exactly.
And so that, you know, and a lot of people there would say, well, we wish we could come to LA because there's more opportunities for, you know, touring, albums, television, film. There's just a different,
More ways.
there's just a different thing here, you know. Let's talk. It was funny because I was looking back a little bit online at over, you know, over some of your credits, and I thought it was great that there was a time like earlier on in your career you were working with Brittany and Justin and like what they've kind of become, and you know, you've been doing this a while.
I have.
You know, she's very young, but she's worked with a lot of people and done a lot. And one of the people that I still have not met that I really want to meet is Stevie Wonder. And I know you've done some things with Stevie Wonder.
I have.
And I mean, I just feel like, and then Fleetwood Mac, and just all of these artists, Sheryl Crow, like, it's just, you've run the gamut of genres. I don't know that you can tell me right now if you have a favorite genre, but if you were to say, is there a genre that you feel like you settle most close to your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a genre? Or?
I'll tell you the genre.
Okay.
The genre rather, where they're not playing tracks in the background. That's the genre I like the best.
Yes.
I really enjoy when I'm with a band, an artist, and we're making music. And that sounds silly to say, but some of the pop gigs, the Britneys and things, there was a lot of track running, and that's just a reality in the music business, especially in the pop music business world. It's just, you're going to run into that, and it doesn't really fill your soul the same.
Yeah.
But when I'm doing it, almost doesn't matter the genre, whether it's jazz or country or just straight ahead singer-songwriter, as long as we're in the moment and we're just making that music. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
But I love Sheryl Crow.
Yeah, and Sheryl Crow is great.
She is great.
Yes, and I love her
I love
and
that kind of music.
Nayana Holly. She's been here and worked with her.
Yep.
We can loosely touch on this because I know we can't talk about it in depth. But last year you had the opportunity to work with Barbra Streisand on her tour. And I'm sure, with obviously not giving too much detail about that, can you just say maybe just a little something about what that meant to you to get to work with her and meet with her and the band and the orchestra and the whole thing?
Yeah, I would say that we were all working so hard to pull it together, I never really stopped to enjoy it. Honestly, when we were putting it together, we were working with Tim Davis and the other two singers, Amy and Andrea, and people kept saying, oh my God, is this surreal? And I'm like, it is, but I'm not really, I just hadn't really clapped it in. Yeah. Now that I've had a chance to look back at it, it is amazing. I mean, your whole life, there's
the body of work alone, the song list, and just the songs that you're singing on.
I mean, you heard these songs as a child, and you never even imagined, like, I'm going to be on stage with this person. I didn't, that's for sure. And so, also, too, I mean, it's the top of the pile. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. So, it's an honor to get to work with her.
And a career highlight, I'm sure you'd say.
It's a career highlight for certain.
Yeah.
For certain.
Yeah,
it is. Fleetwood Mac also, it's really great working with them.
Yeah.
Because the songwriting is just, it's all there.
Yeah. It's rich, it's raw, and
there's a lot of information. It's an informed project. Songwriting, performance in every way. There's so much there.
Well, and lastly, most recently, you've literally been home for a week. You were a part of the Game of Thrones arena show. Tell me a little bit about the composer and what that was like working with the team there.
I'll tell you, Keri, that was the biggest challenge of my life. It was such an enormous project. Obviously, Game of Thrones is probably like the biggest show that's ever been on television. I think that's how they put it out there. So getting to work with the composer who does this music, he works also on Westworld, and he's just a little tiny baby genius. The man he just emotes music, and so it was such an amazing thing to get to work with him, and I had to just, when we first started rehearsing, he just handed me a stack of sheet music, and there was no hand-holding. I went home every night for a month straight. I talked to no one, and I just sat with my sheet music and my piano and learned and learned and learned and hoped it was right. And it was just, the learning curve was steep, and I was leading the songs with an orchestra and a choir and a band, and it was just an amazing experience. This tour is something that they've never done before, so it was an experiment. Using the music from a show and highlighting it and featuring it is something HBO's never done. So we were part of a first for them, and I think it's going to go to Europe in the fall.
That would be so great.
Yeah, the fans love the music so much that they want to keep it going. So it was a huge project, and I'm really grateful. And
it's great because you're saying a learning curve, but to continue, I mean, for all of the different things that you've done in the music industry, it's continuing to stretch you, and you're growing. Yeah. And that's kind of what we all have to do for longevity and,
Absolutely. I'm a fan of the idea of living is growing. And if you stop growing, well, what are you doing?
Right.
And there's always more to learn and always more to stretch into. And I do believe that if your feet are just like barely touching the bottom of the pool, then you're where you should be. You're not supposed to be like on solid ground. You're supposed to be a little bit like, whoa!
Yeah.
And you grow into it. And so I did a lot of growing.
Well, that's really great advice, especially for those coming up. And, I cannot thank you enough for giving of your time to come
Absolutely.
down and sharing your beautiful voice and your talent with us.
Thank you.
We will forever be grateful.
Are you kidding?
That you're a part of our Black and White Sessions family.
I am honored to be here with the Black and White
Wow.
Sessions. It was intimidating even coming in. I was like, I've got to be ready for this.
Oh,
So thank you for
wow.
having me so much, Keri. This
Well,
is a wonderful thing you're doing
thank
for
you.
the singing community.
Well, thank you
Yeah,
so much.
totally.
And we look forward to seeing you again in the future
I hope so.
and for all the great things to come for you.
Thank
So,
you, and you
All
too.
right, well, thank you. All right.
Because we're friends.
Yes, because we're friends.
Bye.